Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Anna and today we have a new format of video for my channel. This is interview with organizers and representatives of the program Postcards to the Front. So we have our organizers. This is Tamara, she is from Ukraine, and Helen, she is from Canada, and Peter, he is from Australia. Our first question for Tamara is why did you decide to create such an organization and send Postcard to the Front?
So actually, I had a postcard shop even before the war started, and I had a lot of postcards. And when war started, I decided that warm words could also help. And I started to say that maybe someone needs cards, and maybe we can sign them, and we can send them to the front with the support words. And I found some people who were ready to send them, to organize this transparency and sending way. So I was preparing the cards. So that's because of my post-crossing soul, I knew that the support is psychologically matter.
Yes. So, and our another question is for Peter and Helen. How did you decide to join Postcards to the Front, and why? What is inspiring you to do it day by day? So I think first, Peter, maybe you can answer for this question.
Yes, I was trying to do something similar to Postcards to the Front. The big hurdle was I didn't know anyone in Ukraine, and eventually, it's a long story and it's not terribly interesting. But eventually, through Postcrossing, I met Tamara, and she told me what she did. And I thought, this is perfect because all I have to do is get postcards to Tamara. So we were talking by email and she did a Zelensky on me. I said, this sounds great. How do I get some money to you? And she said, I don't need your money. All I need is more postcards. And I thought, this is it. I've found my Joan of Arc. And we've been doing it together ever since.
For me, I was watching on Postcrossing website the conversation that was going on between Peter and Tamara, and the seed started to grow in my mind. So I really watched how Peter developed the Postcards to the Front branch in Australia. And then I thought, okay, Canada should have one. And, Peter's done a great job, so maybe I can give it a go. And I was so grateful because Peter and a friend of his that's also helped get it started in Australia. They guided me and they helped me get set up, and very quickly started reaching out to others across Canada to get some postcards. You asked a second part to that question, Hannah, and that was what inspires me day to day. And really, what inspires me is the resilience and the strength and the courage of the Ukrainian people. What inspires me is my anger against the invasion that has totally turned your lives upside down. What inspires me is Tamara and her courage and creativity in starting up Postcards to the Front. And also what inspires me is the power of the pen over the power of the weapon. Tamara said something about messages of support. That's exactly it, sending messages of support.
And our next question is, why do you think it's important to send postcards to warriors? So, Tamara, what do you think?
Sometimes we get messages back from the warriors, from our defenders. Usually they say something like, I'm a big, huge man, and I was so much crying. I was reading your postcard and I was crying to read it. Because sometimes physical support is also, of course, it matters. Yeah, weapons, etc. However, sometimes people want to hear words. Why do they do that? They want to know that people around and people on the civil side understand them. So I feel that they need to know, and they need to know that we, especially after almost 2 years of war, that we didn't forget.
So Helen, what do you think?
Exactly those same reasons. You know, Tamara has shared some stories. There was one defender described the postcards as, a ray of light, a bit of sunshine coming into the kingdom of darkness. You know, it's not what anybody wanted. The defenders want to be home with their families. And it's very important that they do receive acknowledgement of what they're doing, and that they know that people around the world care, and people do care. And they need to know that, so they don't feel that they're all alone in their struggles. So that's why these cards are very important. Peter, maybe you could talk about that amazing article you shared with us about the Olena Zelenska Foundation and her work around the psychological support for the defenders.
Yeah. There's, I think people sometimes forget that besides the danger of war obviously changes people. You're in a situation you don't want to be in. You're killing people who you really wouldn't kill normally. And this, especially what's happening in, are you getting that radio as well as me?
No.
Oh, good.
No.
Especially how the war's developed. It's turned into a bit like World War One, with trench warfare and communications. Although they're possible, there's the issue of perhaps the Russians picking up on signals and shelling people, etc. And a postcard is something that's maybe old-fashioned, but it's very tangible. You can hang on to it. Tamara tells me about people who put it in their top pocket as a talisman, and to get a message of support from someone you don't know, someone you'll never meet, but someone reaching out to you and saying, I care for you as an individual. I support you as an individual. And I think about you all the time. Must and does do something in terms of people's spirit. They feel that someone else is with them. And I think especially someone from Canada or someone from Australia, which is virtually on the other side of the world, I think it probably means even more to them than someone from Europe.
What Postcrossing into Postcards to the Front means to, especially for you. So, Helen, what do you think?
Participation for me, it fulfills a couple of things. One, I really felt and do feel a very strong need to support Ukraine. I have a problem when there's a situation. I'm an educator, and so if I see a bully in a school or a schoolyard, or even on the street, if I see a bully, I want to do something about it, because I really have a difficulty accepting that bullies exist on this planet. And so we have a situation here of a bully. We have this. I was showing a grade 5 class a map of Russia and a map of Ukraine, and how they're together. And I said, okay, this country is invading this country. And these are Canadian children who are about 9 or 10 years old. And I didn't use the word bully. They used the word bully. They could see it clearly. And that's what the world sees. They sees this bully situation, and we want to support those of you who are defending. So for me, participation is action. It is something tangible, something meaningful that I can do. I can't buy weapons. I'm not going to sign up to go to the front lines, but I can do something with postcards. I understand postcards, and I know what they mean to me when I receive them and what joy they give me. And so I hope to share that joy, even if just for a few minutes, in someone else's life where struggle and unhappiness and sorrow is part of every day.
Okay, then Tamara, what it means to you?
So I feel that sometimes people feel guilty that they can't send money and that they can't help, and then they look to themselves and they feel that they are away from war. With Postcards to the Front, you don't need money. We are also sharing cards for free in many places in Ukraine, in some places also out of Ukraine. So you don't need even to pay for that. You can sign it in some places, or sometimes, send it in a very small price locally, and send and say your words to the defenders and help them with this way. And you feel that you also given some part, you are participating in this help and in this support. And for me, I want people to feel that they support even if they don't have money. Our project is free. We don't ask for money. We ask only for good words from you, for good vibes from you, and we want it, and we are sending it to our defenders. And what it means for me, I give people this opportunity, and I want also our defenders to feel that all over the world, not only Ukrainians, like all the world cares. That's what means to me. I want to, because I also the same. Helen is postcrosser. I'm also a postcrosser. We all understand the power of a card. We all can send cards. This one I need to send right now. They are waiting for me to be signed. But more than that, 6,000 are waiting for to be signed on the whole, for defenders. And that's what it means for me, to support our defenders psychologically and to help people to understand that they can help with many different ways.
Yes, I think so. It's some kind of motivation for our people to receive such kind and strong messages from people all over the world, not only from Ukraine. So it's important. So, and Peter, what it means to you?
Well, Russia invading Ukraine really pissed me off, and we're in such a weird time in history. But basically, what's happening is the dictator of Russia wants to return to the Soviet Union. But he wants to return to the Soviet Union as it was before the start of Operation Zaporizhzhia. He conveniently forgets about the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact of August 1939, when Germany and Russia signed a non-aggression pact. He conveniently forgets that Britain and the US provided all this aid to Russia so that it actually could defeat the Germans. So he's in Gaga land. The man's not sane. And I just want to help the people who are facing such an insane madman and laying their lives on the line to protect their country, their culture. And I think for every other democracy in the world, they're showing us what we have to do to stop madmen like this starting wars.
Why did you decide to encourage people to try to write some proverbs in Ukrainian language? So I think it's a question for Peter and Helen, as you're from another province.
Tamara made the suggestion, and we have a monthly newsletter, and we put some phrases in there, and there are some Ukrainians we know, about 20% of our members are Ukrainian. The other 80% have no connection, and so many people just try to write in Ukrainian, and some of them have got quite good at it now. I believe Tamara told me that at the beginning, the troops used to laugh because it was like writing from children, but they've gradually got better, and I think it makes the receiver quite happy. Here he is fighting for, I say him, could be her, fighting for their country, their culture, and his people actually learning a bit about their country and their culture and writing to them in Ukrainian. So I think that's a big boost.
And Hannah, I would build on what Peter and Tamara have said, because not only does it acknowledge that there's another culture, but I think when we try to understand another culture through its language, and the Cyrillic alphabet's very difficult for anyone, even adults who've written in a Latin alphabet all their lives, to get our hands working around. It's like a new form of art for us. And I think that act of writing in Ukrainian, trying to think of the text and the words in our minds, is a physical act of connecting with a people and a culture which is trying to save itself from being completely obliterated. I think that's a really strong empathetic act. And when people empathize with another people, they will continue to care about them. So as soon as we started doing the language and asking people to try some text and giving them a little bit of background about the history of the language, they started to know more and feel more connected to Ukraine and feel more motivated, because they realized that their message has even more meaning. And I hope that the receivers, the defenders, when they receive these things, understand and see that this is a true act of love and support, because we're trying to connect on a Ukrainian level, in a Ukrainian cultural way.
Yes, I think it's some opportunity for people from Canada and Australia to be a little bit close to Ukraine. And of course, for our people, it's really important and some interesting to receive postcards from Australia, but write some words in Ukrainian language, in our language. Waiting for our next part of this video with another interesting question for our guests. And of course, if you want to send postcard for this program to our people in Ukraine, you can see all links and information under this video, addresses. So thank you so much for watching, and of course waiting for another part. Do not forget to click like and see all information about this program under this video. Of course, join and send a lot of postcards with kind words, and bye bye. See you soon.
Wait for the second part. Boom.